On Tuesday, December 24th, Days of Our Lives, DOL, spoilers revealed that Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, provided Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, with updates on the latest behind-the-scenes drama at Body and Soul after suspecting Alex Kyriakis, Robert Scott Wilson, of having a romantic relationship with a co-star. Stephanie also admitted to sharing a kiss with Philip Kyriakis, John Paul Lavoisier, which made Kayla worried about her getting back into things with her ex. Stephanie didn't know where things were going, but she dismissed the prospect of a reunion with Philip and thanked Kayla for caring. On Tuesday's episode of Days, Philip ran into Alex in the town plaza, and they talked about Philip winning half of Titan. Philip eventually admitted that they still had Stephanie issues to resolve and told Alex about his kiss with her. Despite Philip's claim that he was being honest in the interest of family unity, Alex felt Philip was gloating by kissing his face. However, Alex said it was none of his business and that Philip could do whatever he wanted with Stephanie. Philip stated that he was not currently dating Stephanie, but he definitely believed that things were moving in that way. Alex tried to be all right with it, but deep inside, he didn't look so good. When Stephanie appeared, Philip implied they were only talking about her. Alex decided to leave, but first he wished Stephanie a Merry Christmas. Following Tuesday's DOL show, Philip questioned if Stephanie was willing to see where things went between them. Stephanie was a little nervous when Philip invited her on a New Year's Eve date, but she eventually accepted the idea and thought it sounded lovely. On Tuesday's episode of Days, Rafe Hernandez, Galen Gehring, gave up Leo Starks, Greg Rickhart, payment and received a pat on the back from Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, for finding Hattie Adams, Deidre Hall. Rafe was concerned about the tension it produced with Jada Hunter, Elia Cantu, and questioned if this position would work out. Steve recognized that the scenario could lead to other problems, but he still disliked losing Rafe because he was an asset to Black Patch. Rafe eventually concluded that he loved his career and that it was essential to him, so he'd simply have to figure out how to work things out with Jada. At the Salem Police Department, Paulina Price, Jackie Harry, learned of Rafe's interference, allowing Hattie to seek legal counsel before being questioned. After Paulina encouraged Jada to dominate her guy, Jada expressed uncomfortable with the concept of doing so. Paulina understood, but she believed Jada and Rafe needed to reach an agreement. Jada vowed to do her best to find a solution and settle the tainted cupcake issue as well. However, Paulina stressed that she would hate to change police commissioners again. Rafe and Jada exchanged apologies at the Hernandez residence, which relieved their tension. Jada now accepts that Rafe was simply doing his job, but he wonders how they will move ahead. Jada decided they'd have to figure things out as they went, and Rafe was eager to do so. Back with Steve, he returned home to Kayla and learned about Stephanie's romantic drama. Kayla chose not to delve into details, instead focusing on the fact that Stephanie would be spending Christmas with them. At the DiMera mansion, E.J. DiMera, Dan Feuerriegel, assumed Rafe was paying a visit, but Arnold Feniger, Galen Gehring, poured himself a drink and acknowledged it was him. That enraged E.J. because Arnold, Rafe's twin thanks to plastic surgery, was supposed to be playing dead in Argentina. There was some concern that Arnold would go off the rails after E.J. and Stefano DiMera, Joseph Mascalo, recruited him to disrupt Rafe and Sammy Brady's, Allison Sweeney, relationship. However, the DiMeras decided to keep Arnold alive in case he could be useful eventually. Some days' memories revealed that when Arnold was attacked in prison, the perpetrators were working for the DiMeras and administered Dr. Wilhelm Rolf's, Richard Wharton, medication to simulate death. Arnold was given money and sent to Argentina, but the money had run out. That's why Arnold returned to DiMera's bank to withdraw funds and offer his services. When Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, showed there, he inquired as to what Rafe was doing there. Arnold asked if he knew Johnny, but E.J. maintained Rafe was simply kidding because Rafe had always been close to his son. Rafe played along by claiming he was simply teasing Johnny, who seemed perplexed by E.J. and Rafe's friendship. Nonetheless, E.J. kept up the ruse, barking instructions to Arnold when they were alone. EJ was willing to make one final payment, but he wanted Arnold to return to Argentina as soon as possible. Arnold expected EJ to recognize his value and chose to stay for a while because the estate was so comfortable. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers, Arnold will cause even more mayhem for EJ, so we'll keep you updated on whatever tricks he has up his sleeve. Days of Our Lives, Rafe's lookalike returns from hiding in Argentina, Arnold fools Johnny. Introduction. The drama in Salem never ceases to amaze. In a shocking turn of events, Rafe Hernandez's mysterious lookalike, Arnold, has made a dramatic return from hiding in Argentina. With his uncanny resemblance to the police commissioner and a cunning agenda, Arnold is stirring up trouble in ways no one could have predicted. His primary target? Johnny DiMera. Let's dive into this enthralling storyline that has fans buzzing and break down the twists, turns, and underlying motives driving the latest chaos in Salem. Arnold's return, a scheme years in the making. Arnold's reappearance wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment decision. According to sources close to the set, this storyline has been in development for years, with breadcrumbs laid during Rafe's earlier adventures. Arnold, once a petty criminal and con artist, used his resemblance to Rafe to wreak havoc before fleeing Salem to avoid capture. Since then, he's been hiding in Argentina, biding his time and refining his strategy for a triumphant return. Fans will remember Arnold's first stint in Salem, during which he impersonated Rafe under the orders of the DiMera family. While his plan ultimately failed, Arnold's ability to deceive even Rafe's closest allies left a lasting impression. This time, however, Arnold is back with a new agenda and a personal vendetta against those who wronged him. Setting the stage, Johnny DiMera in the crosshairs. Johnny DiMera has always had a knack for finding himself in the center of Salem's most dramatic conflicts, but even he wasn't prepared for Arnold's latest scheme. The tension begins when Arnold, posing as Rafe, approaches Johnny with an offer too good to be true. Claiming to have inside information about a lucrative business opportunity, Arnold successfully lures Johnny into his web of deceit. At first, Johnny is skeptical. His experiences with the DiMera legacy have taught him to trust no one, but Arnold's convincing performance as Rafe, down to the mannerisms and vocal inflections, slowly chips away at Johnny's defenses. Little does Johnny know, Arnold's true motive is revenge, and he'll stop at nothing to achieve it. The impact on Rafe and his loved ones. Rafe Hernandez's life is already complicated enough without the added burden of Arnold's return. Between his duties as police commissioner and his tumultuous relationships, Rafe hardly has time to process the implications of Arnold's reappearance. However, when reports of Rafe's strange behavior start to surface, his loved ones begin to take notice. Hope Brady, who has a history with Rafe, is among the first to suspect that something is amiss. After a series of awkward encounters, she confides in Sierra and Ben Weston, who launch their own investigation into Rafe's actions. Meanwhile, Nicole Walker, Rafe's current love interest, finds herself caught in a web of lies as Arnold uses his resemblance to manipulate her emotions. As the truth about Arnold's identity comes to light, Rafe is forced to confront his doppelganger in a high-stakes showdown. The confrontation not only tests Rafe's resolve but also brings his relationships with those closest to him into sharp focus. Will Rafe's loved ones stand by him, or will Arnold's deception drive a wedge between them? Arnold's deceptive methods. Arnold's ability to mimic Rafe isn't just uncanny, it's downright chilling. From adopting Rafe's wardrobe to mastering his speech patterns, Arnold leaves no detail overlooked in his quest to fool Johnny and the rest of Salem. His manipulative tactics include planting false evidence, forging documents, and orchestrating elaborate scenarios to discredit the real Rafe. One particularly gripping scene involves Arnold's attempt to steal classified police files. Posing as Rafe, Arnold gains access to the Salem PD and nearly succeeds in downloading sensitive information onto a flash drive. However, his plan is foiled at the last minute when Sean Brady intervenes, setting the stage for an intense cat-and-mouse game between Arnold and Salem's finest. The role of the DiMera family. No Days of Our Lives storyline would be complete without the involvement of the DiMera family. While Arnold initially acts alone, it's soon revealed that he has ties to one of Salem's most notorious families. E.J. DiMera, Johnny's father and a master manipulator in his own right, discovers Arnold's existence and sees an opportunity to use him as a pawn in his own schemes. E.J.'s involvement adds another layer of complexity to the storyline. On one hand, he's determined to protect his son from Arnold's machinations. On the other, E.J. can't resist the allure of using Arnold to gain leverage over his enemies. This moral ambiguity keeps viewers on the edge of their seats as they speculate about E.J.'s true intentions. Johnny's realization and the turning point. As Arnold's deception deepens, Johnny begins to piece together the truth. A chance encounter with Allie Horton, his twin sister, proves to be the turning point. Allie's suspicions about Rafe's behavior prompt her to dig into Arnold's past, uncovering a trail of clues that point to his true identity. Armed with this information, Johnny confronts Arnold in a dramatic showdown that takes place at the DiMera mansion. The confrontation is filled with tense dialogue, shocking revelations, and a physical altercation that leaves viewers on the edge of their seats. In the end, Johnny emerges victorious, but not without sustaining emotional scars from the ordeal. The aftermath, healing and reflection. Arnold's return may have been brief, but its impact on Salem's residents is profound. For Rafe, the experience serves as a wake-up call to the vulnerabilities in his life, both personal and professional. He vows to strengthen his relationships and remain vigilant against future threats. Johnny, meanwhile, emerges from the ordeal with a renewed sense of purpose. While he initially feels betrayed by Arnold's deception, Johnny ultimately uses the experience to grow stronger and more resilient. With the support of his family and friends, he begins the process of healing and rebuilding trust. The return of Rafe's lookalike, Arnold, has proven to be one of the most riveting storylines in recent Days of Our Lives history. From his calculated deception to his shocking confrontations with Johnny and Rafe, Arnold's presence has left an indelible mark on Salem. As the dust settles, fans are left wondering what's next for their favorite characters and whether Arnold's story is truly over. One thing is certain, in Salem, the drama never stops. Days of Our Lives, Rafe's lookalike returns from hiding in Argentina, Arnold fools Johnny. The December 24th episode of Days of Our Lives was packed with intrigue, romance, and the kind of explosive revelations fans have come to expect. From Stephanie Johnson navigating her complicated love life to the shocking return of Rafe's doppelganger, Arnold Feniger, the drama unfolded in classic soap opera style. Stephanie's romantic confessions. The episode kicked off with Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, confiding in her mother, Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, about her tumultuous personal life. Stephanie revealed her concerns about Alex Kyriakis, Robert Scott Wilson, and his potential affair with a co-star from Body and Soul. Her suspicions had been building for days, and she felt torn between confronting Alex or letting it go. To complicate matters, Stephanie admitted she had shared a kiss with her ex, Philip Kyriakis, John Paul Lavoisier. This revelation left Kayla visibly worried about Stephanie jumping back into a relationship with someone who had caused her pain in the past. However, Stephanie downplayed the situation, expressing uncertainty about where things might lead with Philip. Kayla's maternal instincts kicked in as she urged Stephanie to prioritize her emotional well-being. Despite her reservations, Kayla assured Stephanie that she supported her decisions and appreciated her candor. Tensions between Philip and Alex. Meanwhile, in the town square, Philip literally ran into Alex, setting the stage for a tense encounter. The two men's long-standing rivalry over Stephanie was reignited as Philip revealed his kiss with her. Although Philip claimed his intentions were pure and that he wanted to maintain family unity, Alex interpreted the confession as a deliberate attempt to provoke him. Alex's reaction was a mix of bravado and insecurity. While he insisted that Philip's actions were none of his business, his body language betrayed his true feelings. When Stephanie appeared moments later, Philip's suggestion that they had been talking about her only added to the awkwardness. Alex's forced politeness as he wished Stephanie a Merry Christmas before leaving highlighted his struggle to mask his jealousy. Later, Philip seized the opportunity to ask Stephanie on a New Year's Eve date. Despite her initial hesitation, Stephanie accepted, signaling that she might be open to rekindling their relationship. Rafe and Jada's workplace struggles. At the pub, Rafe Hernandez, Galen Gehring, found himself grappling with the fallout of his professional choices. After successfully locating Hattie Adams, Deidre Hall, and securing payment for Leo Stark, Greg Ricart, Rafe reflected on the tension his job at Black Patch was causing with Jada Hunter, Elia Cantu. Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, praised Rafe for his dedication, but he acknowledged that the job could create friction in his personal life. Rafe, determined to make things work, resolved to address the issues with Jada and find a way to balance his professional and personal responsibilities. Back at the Hernandez house, Rafe and Jada exchanged heartfelt apologies, agreeing to take things one step at a time. Their willingness to work through their differences highlighted their commitment to each other, despite the challenges they faced. Paulina's pressure on Jada. At the Salem PD, Paulina Price, Jackie Harry, expressed her frustration over Rafe's interference in Hattie's case. Concerned about maintaining order within the department, Paulina urged Jada to rein her man in. Although Jada resisted the notion of controlling Rafe, she promised to find a way to resolve their issues. Paulina's warning about the potential consequences of further discord, including the possibility of appointing another police commissioner, underscored the high stakes at play. Determined to prove herself, Jada vowed to tackle both her professional and personal challenges head-on. The shocking return of Arnold Feniger. The most jaw-dropping moment of the episode occurred at the DiMera mansion, where E.J. DiMera, Dan Feuerriegel, received an unexpected visitor. Initially mistaking him for Rafe, E.J. was stunned to discover that the man standing before him was Arnold Feniger, Galen Gehring, Rafe's doppelganger. Arnold's reappearance was a shock for E.J., who believed the lookalike was safely hidden in Argentina. Flashbacks revealed that Arnold had been a pawn in the DiMera family's scheme to sabotage Rafe's relationship with Sammy Brady, Allison Sweeney. After undergoing plastic surgery to resemble Rafe, Arnold had played his role to perfection before being sent into hiding. Arnold explained that he had returned because he had run out of money and saw an opportunity to leverage his past association with the DiMeras. Despite EJ's initial reluctance to entertain Arnold's demands, the lookalike's persistence hinted at his plans to create more chaos. Arnold's deception of Johnny. When Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, stumbled upon Arnold at the mansion, the lookalike quickly improvised. Arnold pretended to be Rafe, playfully teasing Johnny about their supposed close bond. Although Johnny was unsettled by the interaction, EJ managed to convince him that Rafe was merely joking. Once Johnny left the room, EJ confronted Arnold, demanding that he leave Salem immediately. Arnold, however, had other plans. He insisted on staying at the mansion and hinted that his presence could be beneficial to EJ in the future. Frustrated but unwilling to risk exposure, EJ reluctantly agreed to give Arnold one last payment, hoping to send him back to Argentina.